Hello and welcome to Emotional Intelligence program here on Lumen TV. This is the program where we reflect on how understanding and managing our emotions can positively shape the way we live, work, and grow. So today we are looking at a topic which we are calling talent. So to help me discuss today's program, I am joined by Victoria Mwansa. Welcome to Emotional Intelligence program, Victoria.
Thank you very much, Victoria. This sounds it's funny because
V&V, right?
Yes.
I understand. So today we have a very interesting topic, which is talent. Maybe to start with, at what age did you discover to say, this is my talent?
I think I was 11.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 11 when I discovered that I like biking and also that I like talking a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So, to begin with, how would you describe talent in your own words?
In my own words. So, a talent is a God-given gift that is given to each one of us, which more like helps us identify our inabilities, like our uniqueness. That separates us from other people. Yeah.
Okay, our uniqueness which separates us from other people. So many are the times that a child would discover a talent at a very young age, but then they'll be told to say, you can't do this, but you can do that. Have you experienced that from your parents?
Well, the only limitation mainly was that, okay, I was small, like in terms of physically being. Yeah, so there are more like different sets of things. Like then you can do what you want, but the only thing at the moment is, let's just say, maybe you grow a little bit or you maybe discover more things in line with that. Not necessarily like leaning away from it, but in the direction of what I like. Yes.
Okay. So there are times that parents would discourage some children because they feel talent is not enough on its own. Why do you think talent alone may not be enough for someone to succeed?
Well, talent, in as much as it is a gift, it is more like, I would say, let's take for instance, let's say a raw vegetable, so to say, right?
Okay.
So there are certain vegetables that we can't take, we can take when they're raw, but we don't get the full nutrition until they're more like well prepared, and then more like they're cooked and something else is added, so they're enhanced. So the same goes for talent. Okay. As it is raw, quite right, it is nice, it's God-given, but without an accompanying, let's say, development or an added skill to enhance that, it remains something in question because quite right, you can have it and you can nurture it, but for it to more like come to its full potential, for it to manifest and for it to become something big, it has to be accompanied with something, be it more practice, be it more like, let's say, gaining a skill that will help you with your talent. Let's say, for instance, those people who are naturally just good at kicking the ball around, right? Okay, so they do have the potential, but they need the right nurturing of their talent for it to be so big such that it becomes a skill, or maybe such that it becomes a career that helps them in the long run.
Okay, is singing a career?
Can be.
It can be?
Yes, it can.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So apart from me being a singer, is it possible for me to have something else apart from just singing? Apart from you being a baker, I believe you are studying something, right?
Yes.
So is it possible for one person to have kind of a balance?
Yeah, it is possible, because as long as you put your mind and yourself to it, yes, quite right, there are a lot of challenges that come in with it, because there's the issue of time, there's the issue of being tired, there's the issue of also wanting some me time to actually identify other things that I need to help me grow or to help me achieve what I want to achieve at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking at the footballer. We have the under 10, the under 20, and they'll get to reach that point where they can no longer be maybe footballers. So if maybe apart from having your skill, they've also maybe gone to school and studied something. So even if that time gets to reach, they don't have to worry to say, oh, well, I just depended on football, but now I can divert into something else. Okay. So how do you see emotional intelligence supporting the discovery of one's talent?
So when it comes to emotional intelligence, it allows you to more like understand yourself on a full level. Because there are certain times whereby you do understand yourself, maybe up to just a certain extent. When you just know, okay, I like this, I don't like this, and then it ends there. But with emotional intelligence, it enables you to be able to relate with the people around you or the community that surrounds you at large. Because when you're emotionally intelligent, you're able to read other people's emotions, not only, and then you're able to act on best off of logic and also your emotions. You're not mainly just influenced through your emotions. Let's say maybe I'm just upset today, and then I'm just like, you know what, today I'm just going to have an outburst, and each and everyone is just going to come to me. But with emotional intelligence, I'll be able to say, okay, quite alright, I do acknowledge the fact that I am furious today for some no good reason, but I should not have an outburst on an innocent person. Yes, so it enables us to more like be like the word itself, emotionally intelligent. So we're able to pick out which emotion best suits what we're presented with at the moment.
Okay. So we now come to self-awareness. So self-awareness is part of emotional intelligence. How does self-awareness help a person identify and nurture their talent?
Okay, so for just the word itself, self-awareness, it means you know yourself at I would say a deeper level. You understand your feelings, you understand your weaknesses, your strengths, right? So if you're aware of your strength, let's say I'm aware that I can sing, right? So in as much as I know that I can sing, I will make sure that as I am aware, I will make sure that I source or look for something that will help me grow my ability to sing. Quite right, I can sing, but can I sing the right way? Can I use this singing to help me and the people around me? Or in our setting, let's say in our communities, in our churches, we'll say, can I use my voice to evangelize to the people? So being self-aware enables you to identify your talent, work on it, whereby you nurture it. It will go to a point that you are able to also uplift others through your singing, because you might have that talent. You might also inspire someone who has that talent to also speak up and more like be able to nurture their talent as well and be able to use it for the greater good.
Okay. Yes. So now we have people, when they see other people are singing, they would also want to sing. I don't know if you've come across those.
Yes.
They would also want to sing. If they see other people dancing, they'll come and say, you know?
Yes.
Would you say those people are still discovering their talents, or something is wrong?
Well, we can't say that something is wrong, because there are some talents that do come up from, let's say, inspiration. Okay, like take for instance what I was saying, that I love to bake. So it all started with the thing of what I would like to watch. Always it would be either baking shows, cooking shows. Then obviously I'll be like, okay, I want to try that out, not necessarily because I know I can, but because I feel it, okay, I can try it out. So that's what also happens for our talents. In order to discover our talents, to find our strength, we have to try multiple things that make us happy, right? So like we said for the singing part, that those who admire to say, okay, I think I can also sing. So if they can make, if they've got the ability or the chance to more like nurture that that desire that they have to sing, then they can overall more like learn to sing and become great singers for that matter. And for those that are more like admire people dancing, then they just put in the work, they're able to do it. So it's not wrong if you are willing to put in the work, then well and good, as long as it's not a thing of just because that one can do it, I can do it. So it should be coming from a point of wanting to learn, not from a point of competition. Yes.
I mean, if all of us become singers, then who's going to listen to another person's song? So how can emotional intelligence help someone stay focused and committed to growing their talents when challenges come?
All right. So for, like we said, emotional intelligence is something that you start with from within, right? So for you to stay grounded in what you want, you emotionally want this. Like, okay, I really want to learn how to sing, so I have to, like I said, put in the work. So no matter which challenges are going to come my way, of which are going to definitely come, because when you want something, you have to be able to put in the work and also tell yourself mentally to say, okay, this I want and I have to fight for it no matter the challenges. So the only thing that happens is that when you've got your emotional intelligence and when you're also self-aware, you're able to put in the work and say, because I want this, I am willing to do what it requires for me to get this. And because I am aware that I am able to do this or I'm capable of doing this, I'll be sure to say, come what may, I will be able to nurture this talent. And at the end of the day, I will become that great singer, that great baker, that great football player that is.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a backup when you are baking, then power goes?
Backup. Usually it's the natural alternative charcoal.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, when it comes to discovering our talents, there are times that we feel talent often creates opportunity to work with others. So how can empathy and relationship skills shape the way we use our talent?
So when it comes to empathy, we are able to know, like, let's say I'm trying to teach someone how to bake, right? Okay, at the first try, at the first glance, everything will look so easy, but when you get him to put in the work, you'll be more like okay, it's easier said than done. Yes, and then you try to empathize. I try to empathize with the person to say, all right, this is what you wanted, so you have to put in the work. And also when it comes to the relationships that we share with our friends, our relatives, our parents, they do help a lot when it comes to nurturing our talents, because like I said, for me, it took more like my parents to identify that I like a certain thing and then to bring it up to say, okay, you like this, then I'm like, oh yeah, I do enjoy doing this, so could it be that it's my talent? Yeah, our relationships, the relationship that we have with with the people around us help us in identifying our talents, and they also help us in nurturing them, because with the people that are around, they're able to direct you to say, okay, since I know this, you're supposed to work on it in this particular manner, or since you want to do this, you have to go about it in this particular way. And then it's also with these people that the ones that are able to introduce us to the right paths that are needed, like in order for us to grow these talents that we have.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you had a friend that you shared your plans and you said that this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm doing, then they begin to do the exactly thing that you're doing?
Well, it wasn't in an exact manner. It's just like, okay, I also had the idea in my head, and then she brings it up to say, okay, I think I would like to also start baking one day. And I'm like, oh, then we can do it together. I would also love to do such a thing. Yeah, so I have had friends who do that. In fact, I do have a little friends that are doing the same thing as I'm doing. Yeah, so it's more like an insight of me like sharing in on why you're lagging. You're like, okay, I failed to do this. How do you go about it in this way? Then they do come aboard and do share to say, okay, for such an issue, you can go about it in such and such a way, and then it's helpful like that. And then vice versa, if they need my help as well.
Okay, so can you share a part where maybe you had a friend who was trying to copy the exactly thing that you're doing and it didn't work out for them?
I have somebody copied. I think I do not. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what role can parents, teachers, mentors play in developing both talent and emotional intelligence in children and young people?
Okay. So I think I'll start with the emotional intelligence part. When it comes to emotional intelligence, it's a thing which continuously needs growth, and it requires the mentors, like the teachers, the parents, the older siblings, to come in and say to help out, because the emotional intelligence doesn't just come about one day, it just pops up. Okay, I am able to control my emotions. I am able to read the environment and say, okay, when I'm feeling like this, I'm not supposed to act like this. Yes. So when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's a matter of more like the people that are surrounding you. Because let's say I'll use this popular opinion for, let's say, the last borns in the family, right? For them, mostly it's give me this, I'll have it right there. And then whenever I throw a tantrum, then that's when I'm going to have what I want. But with adults being there to tell you to say, okay, this is not what you're supposed to do when you want to get something. It helps click in your mind to say, okay, so there's also an alternative way for me to get what I want. There's also this way that I can use to get what I want. And then when it comes to talent, it takes the help of the people that are around you to identify it. Sometimes you can identify it yourself. Sometimes it takes your parents. Sometimes it takes your teacher to say, okay, whenever, let's say for when it comes to, let's say, public speaking, that always like those pupils in class, I'll be like, okay, I'll take it up, teacher. I'll be a teacher for today. So it's up to the teacher to identify, to say, okay, this one is able to speak in public freely, or this one is able to sing freely, or this one is able to lead whenever I'm not around. So it takes the help of the parents, the teachers, to identify someone's talent and actually put them in line to say, this is what will help you grow this talent that is in you.
Okay. Yes. So finally, what advice can you give our dear viewers who are struggling or feel they have their talents but somehow they get stuck?
So one of the greatest thing for you to know, like, identify your talents or the talents of others is through prayer, I would say. Because there are many times you have an idea, or maybe you feel, okay, I think I've got the courage to sing. I can stand up and sing in front of people. And then there'll just be this fear or anxiety that will come in to say, okay, I can't do this. I'll just make a mistake and then everybody will laugh at me. But it helps to pray about it, and it also helps to have an adult that you share these things with, because they'll help you at the end of the day to nurture your talent. You walk up to them and tell them, okay, I like doing this. I like singing. I would also like to give maybe a poem to a large audience. But the problem is that I'd have this fear. So they'll help you understand how to go about it. Maybe they'll put you in a state whereby they'll say, okay, just in front of me, can you say something like this? The next time, maybe they'll tell you, okay, maybe just in front of your family, can you like say something to them without actually being frightened? Or maybe can you read it aloud? Can you sing it to the people that are around you? So it just helps to have someone to share it with, and then also to more like just be positive about these things, because it might not work out the first time or the second or third time, but as long as you're positive and you're certain that it's what you want, then definitely you're going to be able to grow your talent and then to be something new.
Okay. I think at some point I felt to say I had the talent in singing. The first singing was perfect. Then the second singing, it was Chilea. And from that time I told myself I will never sing again, and I've never sung again. But in a group, I sing because I know to say we are in a group. Yeah. Well, our dear viewers, this is where we've come to the end. Hope you have learned something. So a talent is a gift, and remember that we need to balance our talent. We should not just have one, but we should have at least 2 or 3. So that one day, if we are asked to say, how did you use your talent? We'll be able to say, this is how I used my talent. Victoria Mwansa, thank you so much for coming through.
And thank you so very much for inviting me.
All right. So my name's Victoria Chilefe. Until we meet again, have a blessed day.